Edward Theodore Gein was born August 27, 1906 in La Crosse County, Wisconsin. He was the second of two children by George Philip Gein and Augusta Wilhelmine Gein, the other child being Henry George Gein, the older brother to Ed Gein. George Gein was an alcoholic who was unable to hold down a job, having worked as a carpenter, tanner, and insurance salesman. George also owned a grocery shop for a few years, but eventually sold it, and moved the family to a farm just outside the town of Plainfield in Washoe County, Wisconsin. Edward and his brother only ever left the farm to attend school. Outside of that, they spent most of their time on the farm, where his mother Augusta would preach a lot of the Book of Revelations to him and his brother, about how evil women were. On April 1, 1940, George Gein died of a heart attack at the age of 66. Henry and Ed then began working around town. They were considered honest and reliable by the community. While they both worked as handymen, Edward also babysat, and Henry began dating a single mother of two. On May 16, 1944, Henry and Ed had a brush fire on their property. According to Ed, the fire got out of control, and he lost sight of Henry. Ed went to the police, and even though he didn't know where Henry was, he was able to lead the police right to his body. Ed and his mother were now alone, but not long after Henry's death, Augusta had her first stroke. Ed devoted himself to taking care of his mother, but then she had another stroke, and passed away on December 29, 1945, at the age of 67. After losing his mother, his one and only friend, Ed stayed on the farm and earned money by doing jobs around town. But on the morning of November 16, 1957, Plainfield hardware store owner Bernice Warden disappeared. The store was closed all day, which was unusual, and when Bernice's son Frank entered the store, he made a shocking discovery. There was blood all over the floor. Frank Warden told investigators that frequent customer Ed Gein had been in the store before his mother's disappearance for antifreeze. Later that day, Ed was arrested at a West Plainfield grocery store, and the Washoe County Sheriff Department searched Gein's farm. The farm was locked up, so the police took a look in the shed. That is where a deputy discovered Bernice Warden's body, hung up, decapitated, and gutted like a deer. Searching the farmhouse, authorities found whole human bones, a basket made of human skin covering chair seats, bowls made from the tops of human skulls, a corset made from a female torso, leggings made from human skin, Mary Hogan's face in a paper bag, Mary Hogan's skull in a box, Bernice Warden's entire head in a burlap sack, Bernice Warden's heart, 9 female genitalia in a shoebox, a string of nipples, noses, lips on a window drawstring, a lampshade made from human skin, and finally, fingernails. These were all photographed at the State Crime Laboratory and then destroyed. When questioned, Ed told investigators that between 1947 and 1953 he made as many as 40 visits to 3 separate graveyards to exhume bodies. On at least 30 of those visits, he left empty-handed. But he also admitted to stealing from 9 graves. On some occasions, Gein would even dig up graves of women who he thought resembled his mother. Gein also told police that he never had sex with the bodies, saying they smelled too bad. And finally, Gein admitted to shooting Mary Hogan, a tavern owner who had been missing since 1954, whose head was found in Gein's house. Gein was eventually sent to a mental hospital for the criminally insane, and on July 26, 1984, died from respiratory failure.